Alright, everybody, welcome back to the campaign and the channel. We are once again playing Ironsworn Starforged and our campaign of Crystalline Shadows. So last time where we left off, sir, you can't eat the microphone cord. I'm sorry if there's sounds coming through the mic. My cat is currently trying to eat the microphone cord here. Let me move that. Hopefully that'll be okay. Alright. Got it out of his face, so he will be less encouraged to try and eat the cord. Where last we left off, Ash had been exploring a derelict settlement all by his lonesome, as Vander had been partially out of commission, partially kidnapped by the Blazing Covenant. This was the second episode that we had been exploring the place, and hopefully this will be the last. We're pretty close to finding useful information here for them to come and make use of whatever the settlement was, which seems to be mining some sort of resource, some sort of burnt orange ore. You know what, actually, I'm gonna look something up real quick, see if that's relevant. Alright. I didn't find what I was looking for, so it shall remain a mysterious element. I did not find anything in real life that might be equivalent to inspire things, so we will be going with standard sci-fi technobabble probably for it. But specifically where we left off, Ash had just found a common workers area that had like a wide open space, and a bunch of businesses and stuff to support workers, like on breaks and relaxing after work before they went home and whatnot. And at the outer edge of that was a big drop-off that usually would have lifts, but because this place is abandoned, the lifts aren't working anymore, and he decided to just kind of casually yeet himself down the edge. So he took the quick way down, presuming that his grappling hook and physical abilities will get him back up later. But that's a future Ash problem. And what Ash has to do now is, well, figure out where to go next, I guess. So I guess let's get into that. Just to recap. Just to recap. We are at 7 out of 10 boxes of progress on this vow to investigate this planet. I don't believe journal. Yeah, it's got all of this. I should just have a journal entry. Yeah. Wonder if let's type into that, if it'll go into there, just to have one that dumps all of this progress stuff into that I'm not really paying attention to right now. But yeah, oh, no, don't want to delete it. But yeah, so get the derelict. Planet side settlement, get the settings right and the exploration stuff ready. Okay. I think we should probably roll for a new zone. I don't remember what exactly zone. I think it was a community zone last time, but I just kind of made an executive decision to describe what had come into my head. So I think we'll start with, wherever this hallway that we ended up in, or this landing, area lets out in. So Ash had crash landed. I don't know. He fell with style. Pretty sure we rolled to resist the damage after utilizing our armored benefit, and it ended up being fine and taking no damage after a weak hit on the face danger, I believe. So I guess we will start off with an undertaken expedition to set off on the next leg of this adventure. Now Ash fought a creature last time, and but it wasn't a super dangerous creature. So Ash is probably gonna still stay vigilant, as they describe it, for undertaken expedition with wits. I don't really feel a need to try and do things super quick and run through. There's not much danger, and the Blazing Covenant did not give us get it done in one day, and we'll kill Vander or something like that. And there's no current threat for him to really be worried about. So he's gonna stay vigilant. And I do think it's a little intimidating right now. I'm picturing like the main thoroughfare leading into the core of this plateau that they've been mining out is probably big enough for at least like 2 transports to go, one way, one the other, with some room on the edges for safety or for foot traffic and stuff. So I'm picturing this like big, wide, almost highway sized road that he's walking down the middle of, big, intimidating, kind of dark void where he can feel that he's in this open space, but it doesn't look like it because the only thing he can see is what his flashlight illuminates. So there's a lot of dark and shadowy space. So let's see how he does making his way downtown, as it were. Really, a miss with a 9. Our challenge dice we rolled a 9, 6 on the action dice, plus 3 from the wits, and we rolled a 9 and a 10. That is an impressive miss. I would not have been upset if one of those was a 10 and the other one was anything under a 9. Would have been fine with it. But really? Okay. And I don't think there's anything I can do. I can't. My momentum's at 1. And none of the assets are going to help this. So, okay, on a miss, you are waylaid by a crisis or arrive at a waypoint to confront an immediate hardship or threat. Do not mark progress and pay the price. So, there's an immediate threat. I mean, it's not a match, so I don't want to be too mean to myself. Did I save those creatures? Yeah. This is all it does. So okay. So I'm gonna roll real quick on the creature oracles. Revealed aspect. Because what I think happens is Ash sees this, is walking down, creeping down this big open shaft with his weapon at the ready, and he comes across a space. He can see small veins of that ore here and there, but it's all like higher up. Everything at ground level and easily accessible has been mined out, but at some point it got high enough to where the veins were small enough to where like it's not worth getting a crew up there with all the safety equipment and stuff. We've got plenty of ore still left on this planet. But what I think he finds is he finds a couple of these creatures that still haven't come up with a name yet, but not super important at this time. The small dog-sized scorpion-like creatures that he fought one of last time. I think he finds a couple of them now. Not like a whole swarm of them. It'd be like a miss with a match, but I'm thinking like 4 of them. And they're up on the ceiling. And he sees them on the like the ceiling and stuff. And I think he actually notices a rock fall before he notices them. And he's walking along, creeping along. And then there's a clatter of stone from the ceiling. And at first he's confused, and then he looks up and he sees what's going on. And he sees a few of these things, and I described them as scorpion-like last time, I think. But I don't think their tail is actually a stinger, like a giant scorpion's would be. What I think is their tail is more this like hardened club, and he watches as one of them smashes at this ore vein that's left out of reach from the previous inhabitants of this place, and it bangs away at it, and the rocks that it knocks loose fall and tumble down to the floor, and then a few of them skitter down, and they start almost like crushing the bigger pieces with their big pincer claws, and then the grabbers on their underside from like the mouth that's along their belly grabs it up and kind of shoves it up into them for them to eat and consume. Which, you know, is fascinating to watch, and Vander would probably be more than happy about it, but these things are scavenging from their food source. So okay, so I wanted to do a revealed aspect. Let me double check what those are real quick. Yeah, we can do a revealed aspect. Let's see if what happens. Well, oh no, we already did a revealed aspect. I forgot, and I didn't write it down. They are here. So they are also winged. I forgot about that. Didn't really come up in the last fight with the one, but this one. So instead of crawling down, they'd probably flutter down. Their backs open up for these like beetle-like wings, and they, you know, bzz down to the ground and start eating. Now, how are we gonna deal with this? How is Ash gonna handle this? I see 2 options. Where's the face danger? Undertake an expedition. I got a miss. Waylaid by a crisis, or arrived at waypoint to confront an immediate hardship or threat. Do not mark progress and pay the price. So, okay, I'm gonna give Ash one chance to solve this with a face danger. And if not, we're gonna have to fight. And it's not gonna be as easy trying to take on 4 of them as it was one of them. However, he does have more of a chance to move. Maybe it'll be easier. But first, I think he's gonna try and scare them off. These are prey animals. They're not meat eaters by nature. They aren't aggressive. So, given a chance to run, they will run. Cornered prey animal is almost is as deadly, if not deadlier, than a cornered predator. But given the chance to fight or flee, a prey animal will usually choose to flee, unless you really catch them off guard or in a bad mood. So given the fact that they don't really have scarce food around here, I think we've got a good shot at this. So I'm going to roll plus iron, I think, because it's intimidating. Trying to scare him off is aggression. It's not a bluff. Not trying to use deception or anything like that. Not trying to make himself seem like there's more. He's just trying to be real loud and scary and make them realize that it's time to move along. So move along. We shall see. Plus iron, base danger. A weak hit. Man, almost a full success on that one too. So on a weak hit, you succeed, but not without cost. Make a suffer move. -1. Okay. So, they all start to come down and feed. Ash hears more than sees the flutter of their wings from the ones in, like, the periphery of his vision. Then he kind of bum rushes them, has his sword out that he's swinging with the light and, you know, his headlight and stuff like that, making a lot of noise. And they do run. They do run, and Ash kind of stumbles to a stop after they leave and just kind of squats down, puts his hands across his legs to just kind of watch the way they went. His mind starts going a little bit. Starts thinking about the cats, the reptile cat things, the chimeras that he fought at the precursor vault on Savixeni. And he can't help but wonder if he would have fared any better against these things than he did against those. They were smaller, but there was more of them, and he was completely on his own. So, you know, what how good could it have really turned out? All that to say that I'm going to make -1 spirit, and then I'm actually going to roll to endure stress. When you face mental strain, shock, or despair, suffer an appropriate amount of spirit loss. Then if your spirit is 0 or you choose to resist the stress, or roll plus spirit or heart, whichever is higher, and in this case, heart is higher. And we do this. So we roll endure stress. Oh, that rolls on this table. Okay. I was very confused. Okay, roll plus heart. Strong hit. On a strong hit, take 1. Shake it off. If you are not shaken, take +1 spirit. Or take +1 momentum. Okay, I'm going to pause to check the rules in the book to see if this means we can clear shaken by getting that strong hit. I will be right back. Okay, so it is in the rule book that if you have the associated misfortune, which is these things down here, wounded for health, unprepared for supply, or shaken for misfortune, you cannot, or misfortune for spirit, you cannot increase that track until you clear it. So we have to take +1 momentum. So let's see. The way we do that is by hearten, which historically Ash has not had a good run of really any of these, except maybe repair. All these green moves are kind of cursed for him. So I don't think we're going to do that, but I will have to keep that in mind going forward for any more spirit loss. That could get really, really bad. But for now, he will press on and try and find another way to make progress in this. So, undertake an expedition. Definitely staying vigilant, keeping his eyes open and his wits about him, unintended. He's going to move slow and steady and be prepared to run into those creatures. Probably going to take the first side exit he finds, or maybe the second, thinking that they would either keep going straight or take the first turn off. So let's see what we get. A strong hit with a match. Okay. All right. Strong hit with a match. Okay. So, first off, let's see what our new zone is. Living quarters of some sort. Living zone doesn't necessarily mean like bunk area, although watch me roll the bunk area now that I said that. Specifically a locker room or storage. Okay, perfect. This is what I'm thinking. That I was already thinking that with this match to increase the supply, but the locker room storage area makes me think that Ash finds a spot, probably a spot that had been mined out before, and like they've completely cleared a big area of easily accessible ore, and then when they ran out of that, they set it up as a staging area for people. You know, they come in here because mining is really dirty work. So you come in here, you change into your work clothes, and you grab your tools, and you go. So I think when they left, someone had a bag of like nice tools. Maybe they were some sort of mechanic. They were but in the rush to leave, they left this like they had spent their own money to get themselves good tools as opposed to the, you know, shitty, worn out, beat up, dirty tools that the company has on stage. So I'm going to say Ash has picked up a nice set of tools from that match and upped his supply a little bit. Now, I think a waypoint with a match also means that we should take a look around and see if there's any other things we can get from this. However, so let's see if Ash can find anything. Or would roll a waypoint, explore a waypoint. I don't know if explore a waypoint's necessary here. Or, you know what? No, I think I'm just gonna leave this be with that little bonus. Not gonna push the luck anymore. We got some progress. And let's just move on. Another strong hit for undertaken expedition, so we'll mark progress. Should I roll or should I just decide? I guess I'll keep going until I get new zone. New zone via access. Okay, so access, anything special? Or no, that's not what I want. I want the area. I want to roll the area for access. So it's just a corridor. So Ash goes into this little living area where some of the stuff was, finds this shiny bag of tools and kind of clips it or throws it in a pack or something like that, and continues on out the other side of the room. Another corridor leading just, I think, a straight shot into the deeper in. Maybe there's like a little flatbed kind of thing on rails that they would have been able to like sit back to back on and zip down the line. And I think he does just that. And we'll make one more. Yeah, okay, we're gonna make one more undertake an expedition here with wits, just to see what's at the end of this tunnel. See if it's something good or something bad. And then we'll see if Ash can get out of it easily. And then we'll probably roll to be done. So strong hit. Or not strong hit. That was the last one. Rolling plus wits. And this is a weak hit. So on a weak hit, we mark progress, we go up to 10. What I'm going to say is that there is a peril at the waypoint, and what this peril is, it is a nest of those creatures. Ash comes to the end of the line, creeps down, and shines his flashlight into where the people would have been going to mine at the end of that little road, and realizes it looks really oddly shiny, because this ore wasn't super shiny. It had a color and like a little bit of metallic glint to it, but this is like really, really like almost like refined. And then he realizes that these aren't like stalagmites with ore veins running through them. He's seeing those creatures, the little scorpion things, and just dozens of them. This cavern, it very well may have been a closed cavern with these creatures in it when this mine was first there, and then when they opened up the cavern, because I imagine he passed multiple like offshoots when they were riding down the rails, and they just kept, you know, blasting down, laying more track, moving deeper when they found another vein, and they eventually broke into this cavern full of this ore, and most of it looks like it's still there. It looks like a natural from cavern from what you can see. This wasn't like a mined out chunk that they abandoned halfway through. I think what happened is they broke into this cave and it was covered with these creatures. And even though these creatures weren't super aggressive, they were dangerous. They were trapped between the miners and the outside, or the miners were trapped, kind of blocking them in. So when they flooded out into the mine system, it caused everyone to panic. People got hurt, stuff got shut down, you know, higher ups and safety crews got fired. You know, blame was thrown every which way, and the company just couldn't recover from the fiasco, and they had to pull out to save face. So Ash is obviously not going to go deeper into this, but I don't think he can just slip away without at least rolling a face danger. And I think we've got one of two options. We've got speed, or we've got shadow. So we've got edge or shadow. Both of them are 1, so it really just matters for flavor. I think edge will be more in line with Ash's character. He is not a stealthy dude, so even though mechanically they're the same, I think edge makes more sense from a fiction standpoint. So rolling plus edge. A miss. Okay, so this is going to be a little more complicated. I think this is going to be a scene challenge instead of just a simple face danger. So when you begin the scene, name your objective, choose a rank as appropriate. So challenges, we're going to begin at progress, and we're going to begin at a clock. So name the objective, and then choose a rank as appropriate to the situation. So it is escape the mines. And I think it's going to be dangerous. He's ready to act. But he doesn't have he has a way out, but not a clear advantage. Because I think him turning to run, he just hears these high-pitched shrieks of the the alert noise of these creatures, and so he just starts booking it back for the exit. Should I secure an advantage for that? Yeah, okay, so secure an advantage. Okay, I've got an idea. He's got those tools, and he's a tech guy. So yeah, I'm going to do secure an advantage with expertise, focus, and our observation. So I'm going to do secure an advantage with wits to see if Ash can modify the cart to like take off the safety restrictions. So let's find out. He can. Okay, so on a strong hit, take both. It is not a strong hit with a match. It's close to being another strong hit with a match. But so we get both +2 momentum, so that's up to 4, and +1 on our next move, which is definitely going to be a face danger. With speed, we're gonna roll plus edge +1. He is gonna hop in that cart and book it. So he took a second. He had a little bit of time. He popped off, the maintenance panel at like the base of one end, and saw, found like the settings and stuff, and I think he just ripped the wires out of whatever setting things there were, so they're just cranked up to 11. He has removed all safety things, and now he's gonna brace himself behind the throttle, which I think is just like a lever. There's a lever on either end, and all I'm picturing is a flat cart on wheels on this rail with a lever on either end, and then like a double set of 4 seats back to back, so it can fit 8 people. They're facing out, and it's just whoever is on the end that they're going pulls the lever to start them rolling. And so Ash just pulls the lever and holds on for dear life, hoping that it's got enough speed to actually make him some progress. Oh my god. Okay. That is a miss. I think I'm going to have to burn momentum. I've got 4 momentum for a reason. It feels like a waste to use it so low, but it does, get us some progress. So we get to mark progress, but we also fill an encounter slot. So what I think happens is that those speed limits and safety limits were in place for a reason, and the cart gets jammed up. There's a little bend or an inconsistency between one section and the other, that it like gets just a little cocked, and at normal speeds it's fine, it can handle it. That's why it's set to that speed. But at this max speed, it just kind of jams up. The back wheel comes off, it goes sideways and gets like all bent up, and the cart flips and Ash goes flying. Luckily, because of his armor, the impact doesn't hurt him very much, but he bounces and rolls. And he's made some progress back towards the front. I think we'll say he's got back to the locker room, and has now, but he can still hear the things coming after him. The sounds of their feet clattering across the stone floor of this mine. So he's just gonna have a flat edge now to try and get back into the main tunnel and back to where the lifts are. So we'll see how that goes. That is a miss without anything. Fill a clock segment and pay a price. Pay the price. Oh, here we go. You face the consequences of an earlier choice. So I think that choice is that when he scared off the other ones, he did not consider what would happen if he was suddenly being chased by a bunch of them, and those other ones were gonna, come back to see what their friends were all excited about. So he skids around the corner as he leaves previously the entrance of the locker room area, and comes face to face with the group that he had chased off earlier. So what I think he's now going to have to do is we're going to roll face danger with iron to represent just quickly fighting his way through. Maybe not killing all of them, but at least harming enough of that group to get them to scatter once more, so he can get past. So let's see how that works. And that is another miss. A 1. Wait. So if he's fighting, he would be using his sword. And we now have an asset that is when you fill the imaginary box below, if you make a move, including a progress move, using this Oathbound Blade and score a miss, you may clear the box to re-roll any dice. So I'm going to clear this box here that we have our re-roll banked, and I'm going to re-roll our action die because it can't get any worse. Sorry, hang on, my cat's doing something. He was trying to get to the cord that's running along the edge of my tower. He was digging at it. Anyway, sorry for that. I think I'm going to re-roll the action die because with it being a 1, as long as I get a 3 or higher. No, I have to get a 4 or higher. So I've got a 50-50 shot of turning this into a weak hit at least. So let's see what I get. Really? Still a miss? Oof. All right. I think that miss. Well, let's see here. Okay, so on a miss, you build 2 segments and pay the price. So that's done. There is still technically a chance we could get out of this. I think that chance is very, very slim, and that maybe I should have saved the reroll for this, but we'll see. So on a strong hit, or on a miss, you fail or undermined. Oh no, so yeah. When the tension clock or the progress track are filled, or when events lead to the scene's natural conclusion, roll the challenge dice and compare to your progress. We currently have 2 progress. So let's see how this goes. I don't think it's gonna go well. Oh no. That is a miss with a match. So I think okay, I think this episode is going to be a little short because I think we're going to end it here. But before I do that, I think what happens is Ash is stopped by these creatures and is fighting for his life. He's trying not to have flashbacks to when everything kept going wrong with those escaped experiment chimera things, but the images are starting to overlap a little bit as he keeps trying to fight, and he is surrounded, and these things won't back off. They hear the rest of their kind of swarm coming, so he and Ash can hear them getting louder. And these things just will not back down. He can't get a good hit to injure one of them to try and scare him off. And they're just kind of keeping him penned in with that hive mentality of surround and conquer. type situation. So if I remember correctly, Ash was given 2 things when he left the ship, when he left the Stellar Hawk. One was the grappling gun that we've already made use of, and the other one was a communication device. I think now he's gonna tap the side of his helmet, probably where the communication device is mounted, and the static's gonna crackle, and it's gonna be kind of cutting in and out. He's gonna hear Jackpot's voice come over it and go, what was Ash's call sign? I think he's gonna use Ash's call sign. Yeah. Jackpot's gonna come over the headset, breaking up, can't hear necessarily everything, but he's just gonna go, Vanguard, we read signal. What status? And through fighting, Ash is just gonna be, I'm surrounded by the mines. Left side of the settlement. Deep into the... down the cliff. Hurry. And we, I think we're gonna leave it there. The sounds of the swarm, maybe Ash sees the first of that larger group coming around the corner. And you better hope that they can do something in time. But we'll find out next time, because we're getting close to where we normally cut it off, and if I go into a big combat thing right now, it'll run long, and I think this is a nice dramatic point to stop. So thank you so much for watching. If you want to see if or how Ash gets out of this, or if help will arrive in time, like the video, subscribe to the channel, turn the notifications on so you can see when the next video comes out to conclude this thrilling chapter of our story. But until then, thank you again for watching, and as they say in the Forge,